Hey everybody, this is Reema from the Guiding Star, wrapping up my day. And I want to talk about Happy Dashara, Dashara. For those of you who don't know Dashara, you all know, I think even if you're not Indian, not from India, you know about Ravan, not the demon, I can say demon, I don't know even the English words right now, my brain is shut down, with the 10 heads who had kidnapped Sita, Ram's wife, and then how Ram got her back. So, but Dashara, comes at the end of the Navratri, at the just very end of the 9 days of Navratri, and there's a reason it comes at the end of it. I don't know if all of you know that reason or not. It's not just parallel set of events just happening because at the same time. No, it's not that. Talking a little bit about Ram Bhagwan today, and again, he's referred to as Bhagwan, but he's not Bhagwan. He's been given the darja, the position of God by many just because of the characteristics and qualities that he portrays as a exceptional human being. So the Devi Devtas like Ambe, which is Durga, Shiv, Lakshmi, etc., Saraswati, they're all goddesses and gods, not gods per se, they're Devis and Devtas, which is different from gods or Bhagwan, technically. Which is even mentioned in the Hindu scriptures, it's mentioned in the Jain scriptures, it's mentioned everywhere, but most people don't know it because they don't read all these scriptures in detail. But so the Devi Devtas, they are superhumans. You can call them superhumans, right? They live in a different dimension. They have non-human powers, right, which humans can't possess. They have a very elevated consciousness. Now, there can be humans also with elevated consciousness, but they are still humans, and Ram was one of them. He was an exceptional human being, just like Swami Vivekananda, right, for example, still a human, but exceptional. So they've been given the darja, the position like a god, like because people revere so much, and they respect and just feel as inspired that they almost start praying to them as God. And then one person calls them God, and then, it just passes. Like, there's so much of history that is impure, if I may say. Some of it is really intentionally been changed for men wanting power and authority. Some of it has been unintentionally changed, and some of it is just lack of knowledge, and people just copy paste and follow. Like today, today's world's astrology is literally copy paste. Now it's coming to becoming spiritual gurus. It's just like anybody calls themselves a spiritual guru. It's hilarious. It's a joke, if I may say. But anyways, so coming to Ram Bhagwan, if you did not know these things, some of you may, if you read about him, because all of this information is not like just sacred and not everybody will know, but it's not very easily known. So Ramji, I won't call him Bhagwan, but Ramji, he was a Cancer ascendant. So from whatever information we have, he was a Cancer ascendant, a Cancer rising person. And the reason I bring this up is because there is a lot of misconception among people who don't know astrology very well about the sign of Cancer, right? There's a lot of negativity attached to it. But Cancer people, so Cancer rising, truly innately Cancer, which Ramji was, they're extremely, to the extreme, you can say, affectionate, kind and compassionate, and so much that they get misused, walked upon, taken advantage of. People who are not emotionally driven or who are mean and selfish, like we know in Ramji's story, right? If you know about his life story, they misuse that. They almost use that to against the individual, to use their emotional vulnerability. So Ramji was emotionally very vulnerable, especially about his wife and his family. Cancerians are all about their family and protecting them, but they can be very emotionally vulnerable, especially when their emotional immunity is low. Literally, just literally like when the weather is bad and your body immunity is low and you'll catch illness very quickly. That's very true for Cancer ascendants. So he was extremely compassionate as a person, very, 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 very compassionate. But the other side of Cancerians that many people don't know is Cancerians are extremely brave. They can be very ambitious. very brave, and that's why they tend to be some of the people that are top, well known. They become very popular, very, very at the top positions in their careers because of their ambition, focus, and their love for what they love to do, their passion for whatever they love to do. So they can be very brave as well. And that's the part of Ramji that we see when he accepts his defeat and he keeps his promise. He goes into the 14 years, right, of, and his wife, of course, goes with him. But he is very dutiful as an individual, right? His exceptionality as an individual comes from his compassionate nature, his love for his family, but more than that, even more than that, it is dedication and a sense of duty towards his father, his family, the word that he gave, his promise, and doing whatever he needs to do. So being able to be as humble, despite being at the position of being a king of a giant kingdom, he is very humble at heart. So these are the characteristics that make him so unique. But then the sense of duty is the beyond, right? The par excellence quality of Ramji is once he has, nobody has to remind him or tell him that, as a king or as a son or as a husband, this should be your duty. These should be your values. I almost can't explain. I can't explain what it means to be a very, very dutiful individual. Somebody who's very patriotic, that you never have to tell them. You never have to ask anything. They'll go over and beyond to give and serve and give away a huge part of themselves to serve. And that was his biggest strength. What you don't also know about Ramji is he, and including many other Devis and Devtas, many, notice the word many, not all, but many, was not Hindu. He was not a Hindu follower. So a lot of this that has been depicted in Hinduism, it's knowledge and information that is brought together in the Vedas, all together in the, and I don't know Hinduism that much because I'm not originally a Hindu, but it's been accumulated and presented at one place, if I may say. It's cumulative knowledge at one place. But there is this knowledge also present at other places, in other religions, which is not as openly shared. But Ramji and his brother Lakshman and his father, so I don't want to go into all of the details of that entire, there's a lot of detail that I can give you. But they were not Hindu originally. They are prayed in Hinduism though. And because they are technically not Bhagwan and they're considered as Bhagwan, that's why the other religion from where Ramji is originally, he's not depicted as the Bhagwan. He's just an exceptional human being, but really exceptional human being, right? And I don't mean to say just in terms of demeaning or reducing that importance, but in being able to just objectively see there's a difference between somebody who is a superhuman. There's a different level of consciousness, powers, existence, the dimensions that they live in, the duties that they perform for the universe, and then an exceptional human being and just their character. He was not here with any mission. He was not here like with Durga or Shiv or Lakshmi, like to bring a mission to earth or to earth consciousness. No, he was just an exceptional human being who merely by his presence created so much inspiration and shift in the consciousness of others just by his own. And that only comes from doing a lot of penance, tapasya, perseverance towards your soul, duty towards your soul's consciousness, right? And as you continue to move that consistently, then that's the stage where you get to the next level of becoming a superhuman or moving towards that stage. I'm trying to make it as simple, I'm trying to explain it in as simple words as I can. But whatever he lost and whatever situations were created in his life were because of his emotional vulnerability, love for his family, being a very sensitive soul, very, very sensitive, hypersensitive soul. But only a hypersensitive soul can be that dutiful because their sensitivity, their exceptionality is so deep and intense towards the things that they value, right? That you cannot get it from an individual who's not hypersensitive. So the best healers, for example, can be the ones that are very, very sensitive, hypersensitive individuals. And then, there is, let's talk about what really happened, why Dashara comes after Navratri. So there's two versions of the story that haven't been shared in Hindu scriptures, and I don't know which one of the two is right, but I do believe that one of the two is right, for sure. So one is that to get Ravan and to know which one of the 10 heads was the actual head, because he only had one shot to get Ravan, right? He only had one arrow, one shot. And if he didn't get it, he would lose Sita forever. So there's one of the beliefs that I follow is that it was Durga who came, because he believed in Durga. He prayed to Durga Ma a lot, Ramji, if you didn't know that. And he prayed to her so much that, and as Devis and Devtas, they have a duty. When somebody prays to you with that much duty and reverence and from the deepest parts of their soul, they have to respond to it. They have to. It's something that they cannot avoid. So either they or their assistants, like we may say in today's age and world's language, Yaksha and Yakshika, or anybody who's serving them, will have to go and fulfill that duty. So Durga Ma arrived onto earth, and she gave him the secret formula on how to get Ravan, and that's how Ram got Ravan. So that's one of the beliefs that I follow, and that's why Dashara is right after Navratri. It's right after that. So it's the winning of evil, good over evil, with Durga Ma's, the whole backdrop. The other is originally where Ramji, who was technically a Jain, Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, they were all Jains. They were Jain followers, Jainism. That it was not Ramji that hit Ravan. It was actually Lakshman that got Ravan. And there's a whole story behind it. There's a whole explanation behind it. And then to save, that he's supposed, I don't even know how to put it, but for the purpose of the religious information that needs to be saved for the respect, for the honor of the man. In those several thousand years ago, honor was everything. Keeping your word and honor and respect was everything. Right now, it doesn't matter. Like I say something, people will say and they'll break their promise. If you don't respect, if you respect, doesn't matter. People are living their lives. But in that time, it was a matter of life and death. It was that equivalent. So to keep his honor, his name, Lakshman, his brother, willingly hid that and gave all the credit to Ram. That's the other story. I honestly haven't read much into it because I'm not a staunch follower of Ramji. I really value his character. I truly adore. I have a lot of admiration for Ramji and Lakshman. We cannot be anything in life, I feel, without a solid companion, right? Like Lakshman, the way Lakshman stood by Ramji, those are true soulmates, right? As brothers, they were true soulmates. So I do have a lot of respect and admiration for both of them, and even for Bharat. But I don't follow as deeply. I've not read much. So I cannot speak more to that. But these were the few things about Ramji that most people, I think, do not know. Or if you've not read those specific scriptures, you may not know. Happy Dashara, everybody. This is Reem Desai from the Guiding Star. I intend to bring you more information about Lakshmi Ma, Saraswati, Hanumanji, Ganeshji, Jesus, all of these. All of them are present on earth in different forms, in different ways, for a specific purpose, for their own ascension, all of that. Great stuff, right? And I will keep making more videos, maybe get back to a little bit of astrology, maybe talk a little bit about soul consciousness, maybe give you some heads up on, what to not fall a trap into. Like I've made some posts recently. Go back and hear them if you haven't. I've already made part 1, 2, 3, and 4 on Ma Durga in quite a bit of detail. So if you're a staunch follower of her, just go hear that and get to know more about Ma Durga and how to bring her blessings in your life. Good night in USA. Good morning in India. Bye, everyone.